Something went wrong, please try again later. Don't miss the biggest stories and breaking news with the Echo Daily newsletter. A new law inspired by the fight for the truth following the Hillsborough tragedy could help prevent future injustice. That is the belief of powerful figures who today issued a rallying call for the introduction of a Hillsborough Law. Changes would include the creation of a legal duty of candour for public officials and making greater resources available to survivors and bereaved relatives in the aftermath of a disaster. Read more. Anne Williams embodied everything heroic and noble in fight for Hillsborough truth. The campaign, backed by the Echo, follows the decades-long battle for truth and justice following Hillsborough. It took more than 20 years for the flawed accidental death verdicts of the original inquests to be quashed. Yet despite an inquest jury ruling in 2016 that the 97 innocent men, women and children who died as a result of the FA Cup semi-final tragedy were unlawfully killed, and that Liverpool supporters played no role in causing the disaster, no one has been held accountable for their deaths. Image, Liverpool Echo. Launching the bid for a new Hillsborough Law, the mayor of the Liverpool City region, Steve Rotherham, said, "What happened at Hillsborough in 1989 and the cover-up that followed is a national disgrace. It is a testament to the courage and determination of the families and campaigners that the truth was finally uncovered after decades of battling against the might of the state. That cannot be allowed to happen again." The campaign calls for a package of measures, including a statutory duty of candour on public servants, including police officers, which applies during all forms of public inquiry and criminal investigation. Proper participation of bereaved families at inquests, through publicly funded legal representation, and an end to limitless legal spending by public bodies. A public advocate to act for families of the deceased after major incidents. A clarification in law that major inquiries commissioned by the government or other official bodies constitute causes of public justice. Several of the measures are prompted by factors behind the collapse of a trial of 2 ex-South Yorkshire police officers and a former solicitor who worked with the force. They had been charged with perverting the course of justice in relation to the aftermath of Hillsborough, but a judge dismissed the case last year. Mr. Rotherham, who said changes to the law would be a fitting legacy for the Hillsborough campaigners, added, "We need a Hillsborough law now to ensure that ordinary people have a fair chance at getting the justice they deserve." Attempts to introduce laws based on the experiences of Hillsborough campaigners have been launched before. The bid for a new law seeks to draw several of those efforts together, and will be launched on Friday afternoon, with a number of high-profile political and sporting figures expected to show support. The cross-party Hillsborough Law Now event comes after the broadcast this week of the powerful ITV drama Anne. The poignant series showcased the efforts of Formby mum Anne Williams as she fought for justice for her son Kevin, who was among those who died following the terrace crush at the Sheffield Stadium. Mr. Rotherham will co-host the event with the Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham. Image, Liverpool Echo. Mr. Burnham paid tribute to the Hillsborough campaigners and said changes to the law were necessary not just because of their experiences. He said, "The appalling treatment of the Hillsborough families at the hands of the legal system shames our nation. But it is sadly not unique. From Peterloo 200 years ago to Grenfell today, ordinary bereaved families continue to be treated in a cruel and dismissive way by a justice system which favors the powerful and the connected. It is a pattern that keeps on repeating itself, and it is time to break it." Image, Andrew T. Bay, a Liverpool Echo. We need to level up the scales of justice in favor of bereaved families, so that the truth is established at the first time of asking. We must spare families the secondary trauma that is often inflicted by cruel treatment at the hands of the system. Truth, justice and accountability will not flourish without a fundamental rebalancing of our legal, coronial and judicial systems. Out of respect for the Hillsborough families, we call on the government to commit to that by bringing forward a Hillsborough Law Now. Receive newsletters with the latest news, sport and what's on updates from the Liverpool Echo by signing up here.